Guys, this is the segment I think we all been waiting for. Last week, there were allegations and also reports. I will say allegations.
Yes.
There's no statement that's been issued by the team.
Yes.
Are you aware of these allegations? Have the team contacted you regarding these allegations?
I've heard about these allegations through the media. And I don't have to tell you that my response was clear. Mm-hmm. And by the way, what a mature response from Rulani Mokoena. The response of a man who understands the responsibility that he has. And first and foremost, his responsibility is to the football club.
Yeah.
He's right. But then he also has the responsibility to protect his players and to protect his dressing room. What goes on inside those four walls, you and I will never know.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't know. All that is important is that whatever goes on inside those four walls is sorted out. And for that to happen, it means that both parties have to look at it, as Rulani said, from a human point of view to start with, and then from a professional point of view. Because don't forget, Rulani Mokoena is a professional football coach. Andile Jali and Mbule are professional football players.
Yeah.
And both parties require a certain level of professionalism, integrity, honesty, transparency, for things to work. There is no doubt in my mind that there has been some form of problem that existed, and there is also little doubt in my mind that these problems will be sorted out.
Okay.
But these problems are evident at every single football club everywhere in the world. We had a situation with Cristiano Ronaldo, which went on for months. And we're talking about a football player that's regarded as one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
I felt that Eric Ten Hag at times was a little bit insensitive, but I felt he handled the situation incredibly well. Yeah. I felt that Cristiano Ronaldo at times was out of place. But at the end of it all, it's unfolded and it's worked out. So I'd rather focus on the positive and say that we all make mistakes. And the sad thing is, when those mistakes are made by players who historically are seen to have problems, they're highlighted. But when they're made by players who don't historically have problems, very little is said about it. But I guess that's the sensationalism of the media, and that's how the media sells stories. It will never change. It won't change here, it won't change anywhere in the world. My responsible comment was, until such time as the club has officially made a statement and has officially involved me in that statement, I can't comment.
Yeah.
Because all I'm going to comment about is what I've heard and what I've read.
Yeah. Maybe the question will be, have you spoken to both players?
Yes, I have. And both players have elected to say very little, to say that there has been one or two issues, but those issues have been sorted out.
Yeah. Hence we saw Mbule on the bench.
Yes, and come on. Okay. And let's hope that, a week down the line, this is a thing of the past. But I'm not at liberty to add fuel to the fire. I don't want to do that. I'd rather focus on the positives of football. And whatever I have to do, I'll do quietly behind the scenes.
All right.
That I will do. And I'll have meetings with the players over the course of the next week or so.
Yeah.
Just to get, their side of the story. I'd also like to have a meeting with the football club. I didn't want to disrupt them. Probably it'll be next week because they have a very important Champions League game this weekend against Al Ahly.
Yes.
So I will address it, but it will be done in the right forum. And once I've had that discussion with the football club and the players, if I feel it's necessary to add any further comments, I will. If not, again, I'll focus on the way forward.
Maybe the other question
that
might come up is, for such a long time we haven't seen AJ.
Yes.
We've seen maybe via socials, maybe he's home. Have you contacted him? Is he training with the team? Is he still part
Yes,
of
he
the
is.
training team?
Yes, he is. He has also been at home, and that's no secret.
Yeah.
But again, I think one needs to look at the human element of this whole thing,
Yeah.
and understand that we have a player that is not settled,
Yeah.
and we must accept that. And it's nobody's fault. It's not his fault. It's not the football club's fault. It's nobody's fault. These things happen in football. We've done our best to try and find a solution. I think Mamelodi Sundowns have done their best to try and find a solution. And at times these things take time to unfold. And I prefer for them to unfold naturally than for it to be forced.
Yeah.
Anything that is done under pressure, anything that is done in a manner that isn't, let me use the correct word, natural. If it's not done naturally, and there's pressure from one side or the other to conclude something for the sake of concluding it,
Yeah.
I don't believe those arrangements ever work out. And so I prefer to let these things unfold as naturally as they possibly can.
So you will let us know when you guys had that meeting.
Absolutely.
With the Sundowns and two players.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so much for always
But I do want to comment on Rolani's statement
Yeah.
and say that I applaud him. Because first and foremost, he has to look after the football club, and then he has to look after his players, and then he talks about the human element of being a footballer or a football coach, and that's incredibly wise and mature for a young man, because he's a young football coach.
Yeah, we look up to these coaches, and also Rolani understand the culture of the team and also these players. Thank you so much, Mr. Makaab. It's 6:20. We'll take your comments, but before that, Mauna, my questions are salaya. You can still ask those questions.